They began with a blast of triple-digit heat in the southwest. The hills are on fire this evening in Los Angeles County. Firefighters are attacking flames from the air and on the ground. 16 large fires are burning in the west. Nearly 100,000 acres have been scorched. Some towns haven't felt temperatures like this in decades. 123 in Death Valley, California. 122 in Palm Springs, and 121 in Needles, Arizona. 4 people died hiking in Arizona.
This afternoon, 2 separate wildfires ignited and merged into one massive inferno in the San Gabriel Mountains, about 30 miles north of downtown Los Angeles.
There's a lot of homes here, and they're really close to this fire.
Thick plumes of smoke hovered over densely populated neighborhoods as tankers rushed to snuff out the flames. A pilot captured this video while battling the fire from the air. Near San Diego, new evacuations were ordered as a fire burning near the Mexican border grew to 1,900 acres. The fire broke out Sunday. It's forced about 800 people from their homes near the community of Potrero. A house fire in the Los Angeles neighborhood of Silver Lake jumped into vegetation, then burned across 2 busy freeways that had to be closed on Sunday. Firefighters tried to avoid succumbing to almost 100-degree heat. In Santa Barbara County, the ferocious Sherpa fire that started last week has devoured nearly 8,000 acres. But so-called sundowner winds, known for pushing fires down these hillsides, still pose a threat.
U.S. media reports say American and Russian fighter jets had a confrontation in Syrian airspace, highlighting a chaotic situation in which Russia and the U.S.-led coalition are bombing targets in support of different factions on the ground. Newsweek magazine reports at least 2 Russian bombers struck what the Pentagon described as a border garrison on Thursday near Jordan, which houses around 200 U.S.-supported rebels. The Los Angeles Times says the U.S. diverted its fighters to the area to stop the Russian planes. Moscow has denied targeting the U.S.-backed Syrian opposition forces, saying the U.S. had not warned about their locations.
A car bomb attack at the Jordanian border killed 6 security forces and wounded 14. The military is calling it a cowardly terrorist attack that targeted a military post serving Syrian refugees. 2 camps are located along the border with more than 60,000 Syrian refugees. They've been stranded while waiting to enter Jordan. Jordanian officials say Islamic State terrorists are trying to sneak into Jordan by posing as refugees.
Tornado on the ground right here, right beside us.
A line of powerful storms produced multiple tornadoes across the Midwest Wednesday night. At least 4 touched down in northern Illinois, where around 15,000 people were without power.
Tornado right there.
A likely twister sent a wave of debris slamming into the car of this storm chaser in the city of Earlville. He was able to make it through the worst of the severe weather without injury.
My whole trailer shook. I mean, it was really scary. It was like there was like 20 trains coming through my house.
Here in Pontiac, high winds damaged several homes and ripped apart this gas station.
It was pretty scary. We heard a loud boom when that came crashing down.
A portion of it tore off and pierced the windshield of this parked car. Torrential rains also pummeled Chicago, where a soccer match at Soldier Field was put on hold. More than 55,000 fans crammed together after they were told to leave their seats and find shelter during a 2-hour delay.
At least 55 people have been killed in lightning strikes in India's eastern Bihar state. Several people have also been injured after they were struck by lightning in different parts of the region. Bihar has been hit by torrential rain accompanied by regular lightning strikes.
The death toll from floods and landslides in western Indonesia's central Java province has risen to 47, with 15 others missing. Thousands of homes were inundated by floods and dozens of houses were buried in the landslides. Search and rescue efforts continued, but were unfortunately hampered by more rain and unstable soil conditions.
The Taliban militants have kidnapped at least 27 bus passengers in Afghanistan's southern province of Helmand. The passengers were on board 3 buses en route to Kandahar province. The hostages have been transferred to an unknown location. Police say a search operation is underway to locate them. Afghanistan has been gripped by insecurity for around 15 years since the U.S. and its allies invaded the country as part of Washington's so-called war on terror. The Taliban government was overthrown during the 2001 invasion, but many areas across the country remain plagued by militants. The militants have recently intensified their attacks following the appointment of Mullah Heibatullah Khunzada as the group's new leader.
Cell phone video captured floodwaters washing away this still burning home in White Sulphur Springs.
Dad, watch out!
This morning, parts of the West Virginia community were still on fire.
That vehicle will not be able to stop.
A day of torrential rains sent cars careening down waterlogged streets.
Yeah, it is.
And knocked out power to some 40,000 people. Parts of Virginia and West Virginia faced devastating flooding Thursday.
Just high water everywhere. People can't get out. They can't get in.
The storms knocked out power to tens of thousands. More than 500 people statewide had to be rescued, including this man who shot video while trapped on a rooftop.
I really just want to break down and cry right now.
Paul Moya found himself trapped on the top of his roof as the floodwaters rose. A diabetic in need of medical attention, he watched as his daughter's home was washed away and shot this video as he waited for rescue. We spoke to him from his hospital bed.
All I can see were the homes burning and then the electrical poles burning. I think I could say that now. I was scared. I could say that now. I was scared.
At least 100 homes have been seriously damaged or destroyed across West Virginia. This one sits in the street next to overturned cars. Others are just gone, as are the 3 people who are inside. City police and medics are going door to door checking for survivors.
It's sad to look around and see all this. I don't, did all that rain cause all this? I don't understand.
Part of Vicky Witt's home was ripped away after the neighbor's house hit it. She, her grandchildren, and neighbors had to be rescued from the second floor, but the family dog was left behind. They found him today.
We got out, so that's all that matters.
Authorities in Yancheng City in East China's Jiangsu province say 98 people have now been confirmed dead as a result of Thursday's tornado and hailstorms. Another 846 were injured by the severe weather. Among them, 10 remain in a critical condition, while 152 have severe injuries. Emergency responders are now in the region. The State Council has sent a working team to guide the recovery operation. Emergency relief materials have also been sent, including 1,000 tents, 2,000 folding beds, and 10 sets of field lighting equipment. Electricity and telecommunication companies, as well as transport authorities, are making urgent repairs in the region. The National Development and Reform Commission has allocated 10 million yuan for the aid work, while the National Health Authority has sent medical experts to the area.
The United Nations Security Council has condemned North Korea's latest missile launches, calling them grave violations of a ban on all ballistic missile activity. 15-member council further demanded that Pyongyang end all nuclear tests and ballistic missile activities. UN Security Council President Alexis Lamech said members of the body were united in strong opposition to the tests. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un earlier hailed the back-to-back missile tests on Wednesday as, quote, a great event. Pyongyang has tested 10 ballistic missiles since March in the face of what it calls Western threats. The UN has slapped punitive measures on Pyongyang as a result.
It is nothing less than a political earthquake, separating Britain from the European Union and sending EU leaders into panic mode.
Good morning, everybody. The sun has risen on an independent United Kingdom.
Britain's Prime Minister David Cameron, who staked his political future on remaining in the European Union, resigned first thing this morning. Germany has announced it will host an emergency meeting of the original 6 founding European Union nations. World stock markets were hit hard at first while gold shot higher. The British pound plunged to its lowest level in 31 years. We're much more certain about what lies ahead for the European Union. Crisis.
The EU's failing, the EU's dying. I hope we've knocked the first brick out of the wall. I hope this is the first step towards a Europe of sovereign nation states.
Polls show the Dutch would also like to leave, and Denmark. Still more nations may now find the courage to try. And because Scotland voted to remain in the European Union, it could hold another referendum to leave the United Kingdom. And the world economy, for the short term at least, could be battered by uncertainty.
Clearly the markets will be in a bit of turmoil. And I would suspect that the Bank of England is going to have to intervene very significantly to calm the markets down.
Some think Prime Minister Cameron could be replaced by former London Mayor Boris Johnson, who campaigned to leave and compared the goals of the European Union to Adolf Hitler's dreams of a European superstate. Britain will now negotiate a separation from the European Union that could take years. But talk of a European Union death spiral has already begun.
Now, Daesh terrorists have abducted around 900 Kurdish civilians amid an ongoing campaign of terror by the Takfiri group across northern Syria. And reports emerged on Friday that Daesh killed at least 26 of the abductees for refusing to follow their orders. The rest have been subject to hard labor, such as digging trenches and building fortifications. The abductions over the past 3 weeks come amid fierce fighting for the control of Manbij as a key Daesh stronghold